Bigme does it again, releasing device after device after device. This is the HiBreak Pro Color. And if you want to read all about specs and on paper this, that, and the other things, just check out the article or the description down below. What this is the latest possible EINK smartphone from the company and basically in the world. And yes, they're using 8+256, which means 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs onboard storage. The thing has a camera, it has an infrared sensor, it has a speaker, lots of speed modes, and it really is the only device of its kind that you can buy today. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and look at the build. Here it is. Now, moving from the white version to the black version, it's more sleek, it's more kind of professional, it's more stylish, but you know what? It's not as poppy. Obviously, because black is all the colors and white is the absence of color. But we'll get into some comparisons in the future. But anyways, let's go over it. You have a flush screen and bezel with a noticeable screen gap, which unfortunately is present on pretty much all their devices. You have an earpiece, which acts as the second speaker. You have a front-facing camera. Now, you will see that the camera is reflective because it is a glass screen. They just put a screen protector on it. Do not remove the screen protector, even if you really try. You have 2 customizable buttons. You have a power button, volume up and down. On the bottom, you have a microphone, speaker, USB-C, and a SIM card slot, which you will see right here. It has a regular SIM, and unfortunately, there is no SD. On the top, you have another microphone and an infrared sensor. Infrared isn't really used all that much, but it's kind of nice to have it. You can use it as one of those Sony HUIS remotes to program your appliances around your house. On the back, we have a 20 megapixel camera, and I'm kind of glad they didn't do a camera bump. You lose a little bit of camera depth, but it's completely flush, and it still has the camera glass on the front to be anti-scratch, and it doesn't wiggle when you put the screen down like this. When you put the phone down, it doesn't wiggle. If you had a camera bump, it typically is angled because it's off center. Let's get into the UI. The UI is... it's the same. Now, I'm not bashing the unit because this is technically just an upgraded version of the HiBreak Color, or I guess the HiBreak Pro, because it's an amalgamation. It is a HiBreak Pro Color. The UI is what we've seen time and time again, so it's kind of a matter of if you've seen one review, you've seen them all, but we're going to go over it for the people that are just kind of joining us. You have hotspot, EINK center, we'll go over that in a second. Color inversion changes the whole thing. You have flashlight, you can turn it off and on. You have your glow light, of course. You have 2 different colors of glow light. You have warm and you have cold. You have your volume dial, screen rotation, airplane mode, data communication, because yes, it is a smartphone. We will make a call in a little bit. Don't worry about that. You have multiple screens of this too. It's just endless. You have translator. You have NFC because you can tap this on terminals to make payments and stuff like that. It's a phone. Now, we just want to kind of interrupt my own train of thought here, go off script and say, this is a phone. You know, there's a lot of people that say, oh, it's a nice e-reader. Well, technically it's not. It's the same thing as a Samsung or an LG or a Sony or an iPhone. This is a cellular phone. The only difference is that instead of a LCD LED TFT screen, they said, you know what, wait, I'm going to grab an e-paper screen and put it on. The functions are the same. There's a radio antenna for data, there's an antenna for Wi-Fi, there's a Bluetooth receptor, it's all there. So just keep that in mind and don't be scared of it. However, if you're just getting into the e-reader world, yes, this is slow, not compared to other e-readers. It's incredibly fast, but compared to a smartphone, you're going to see some slowdowns, and we'll get into comparisons in the future. So you have mobile network, display, all the fun stuff you've seen that we've kind of covered time and time again. It's going to be the same thing. Your alarm, your notification, your ring, call, and media. You can do not disturb. You can change your ringtone, all that fun stuff, and it's all completely just a very easy transition, so you don't have to really relearn anything. You have a little floating ball there, which you can turn off, and anything side loaded into the unit like this, I'm pretty sure, yes, we can remove or uninstall. Anything that is kind of these more hand-drawn looking icons, those are the kind of bloatware, the things that come onto the unit by default. You can't remove those. EINK Center is what you're going to live and die by. You have custom, default, magazine, comic, and video. If you do custom, you can turn off and on anti-shake, and this is the biggest thing, refresh mode. We will get into this. We will be switching it every once in a while, and we will do a side-by-side video on HD 256, which is the best looking but slowest, all the way down to extreme, which is the worst looking but fastest. Just to give you a little precursor, if we go to extreme, now we can swipe things and it's much quicker. You drop the top down, you go to settings, and there you go. It's the closest depiction of a true kind of phone. And then when you go to HD 256, you'll see that everything is much more sloshy. Takes a little bit of time to do anything because it's trying to display the best looking screen possible every single time. Now, Bigme does have some preloaded stuff like Translator and ChatGPT and stuff like that, which we will go over. You do have a browser, you got a voice recorder, and yes, you can make calls. We're going to be making a call very soon. And you have Google Play. So if there's anything you don't see here, you simply click on Google Play and download millions of applications. Finally, yes, you can watch videos, you can watch YouTube, you can watch Netflix, you can do Google Meet, you can do Zoom call, you can do video calls with people around the world, you can download WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, everything you would ever want, everything you could expect on a smartphone. It's just running through an e-paper screen. If it's dark out, turn the glow light up and you shouldn't have any issues. So if you log in with your Amazon credentials, you would be able to download samples, read books, and basically do everything you would ever need to do on an Amazon, because remember, this does look like an e-reader, but it's not. It's the same as a phone. It is a phone, and we've mentioned that many a time, but there's people that scrub through the video, so they don't quite know the distinction, but we have done comparisons many a time before, and yes, we have it hooked up because, well, we're out of batteries. So this is the Amazon app, and you know what? This one works really well. What I like about this, it's a little thing, but we've noticed it because we test a lot with a lot of different devices. As you zoom in, the text gets bigger, duh, right? But doesn't cut off while you're doing it. A lot of manufacturers, you zoom in and it zooms in and everything gets pushed out through the canvas, beyond the canvas, and then it takes a second and then it goes boom, and then it justifies. This one has live justification, and that bears mentioning. We'll go to the biggest possible screen to font ratio just to give you an idea of what it looks like to have this in your hand. So this is kind of portable reading at its finest, you know what I mean? So you would have it like this. I didn't change the customizable buttons yet. We'll get into that, don't worry about it. So you'd hold it like this and you can swipe, and actually I believe because this is the application, you can go here, you can go to font settings, and then you go over to more, and then you should be able to change the pages with the volume controls. Here it is. So if you turn that on and then we go back down like this, now I can one-handedly use the volume controls to change pages, and that's awesome. That's really cool because now this gives you a kind of compact, on-the-go portable reading experience. And you might say, well, I can just read on my phone. Yeah, but if you guys are just kind of joining the e-reader world, you'll see that this isn't like a traditional phone. In fact, it really does give you the best of all worlds, because if you look at a phone and you point it at the light, you're seeing exactly what's in the light. But if I do the same thing here, you'll see that you can still see what's on the e-reader screen and you can't see what's on the phone anymore because this is hyper reflective. You see exactly what's going on. This has anti-glare properties and it doesn't affect your eyes. There's really no difference in looking at this than looking at a piece of paper because it is electronic paper. Overall, we can't really go into reading on how good it is because it's going to come down to what you're using. Are you using Google Play Books? Are you using Amazon? Are you on a speed mode? For example, if we turn on anti-shake, auto clean, and we go refresh mode extreme, for example, look, it's going to be super quick and you have all this motion now. You suddenly have this ability to be like, oh wow, things are, really moving and I can speed up and I can change things and I have access and it's very familiar to me. Or you can go over here and you can go back to the EINK Center and you can choose refresh mode HD 256, turn all the fun stuff off, go back out, and then it becomes really slow, but it looks better. So it really does come down to how you craft your own reading experience. But the the inherent properties are there is that it's compact, it's one-handed, it can be two-handed, it fits in your pocket, and it looks good. Because this is a phone, kind of first and foremost, I would say, you do have all of your traditional things like you have your Google Meet, you have YouTube, you have TV, and you have File Manager. So you can go over your File Manager, and this will give you access to all of your content. So as you see, you can dive into sections and subsections and subfolders and really see what's all going on, and you can utilize it as your primary phone if you wanted to. Now, I believe they have some preloaded content on here, and we will do a gallery so we can do multiple photos, and we'll get into colors right now. As you see here, this is the most beautiful color you can ever get on any devices currently, and that is Kaleido 3. You might argue and say Gallery 3 looks better. It does, but it's very unusable. And you might say Spectra 6 looks even better than Gallery 3, which it does. It's hyper-realism, but that's completely unusable. I'm talking 14 seconds between that, a refresh. Whereas Kaleido is usable. It's here. It's tried and true and tested for the past 6 years, Kaleido. Kaleido 1, 2, 2.5, 3, Kaleido Plus, whatever way you want to swing it, it's all ready to go. I mean, look at the blades of, oh, look at that little cat. Look at the blades of grass here. You know what I mean? You can't get that on any other e-paper technology, especially you probably get it on black and white, but you wouldn't get the color, of course. This has all the colors. You can see as the individual pixels attempt to refresh and add greens and purples and blues and whites to create the shading for the cat. So Kaleido 3 is just, it's you can't get any better currently. There is no better. And you would, all the arguments aside, Kaleido 3 is the universal industry standard. Every single manufacturer uses it. Kobo Rakuten uses it. Amazon uses it. Bigme and Onyx and HiRead and iReader and Pocketbook, they all use Kaleido, because there's no other technology. Really only one company, Remarkable, mistakenly is using Gallery 3, and we'll get into some comparisons with Remarkable against other devices in a little while. Now, let's check out what kind of AI things that we have on this unit, because although it doesn't really pertain to the North American crowd, that AI is still kind of in its infancy and is typically kind of, not shunned, but almost like eye-rolled. It's like, oh, here comes some more AI. This device does have some stuff for it. みんな、こんにちは。私はピータです。電子書籍なマスターです。So you say you are the master of ebooks? そういうことです。よろしくお願いいたします。So as you can see, if you have two languages selected, so you choose this one and that one or what have you, you can bounce back and forth and have a conversation almost live with other people that speak alternate languages. You can play the translation, you can clear the dialogue, and you can go here if you want to bounce back and forth. So for example, this side would be Japanese, that side would be English, and you can just go bing, bang, boom, and have a conversation with someone. It's very useful, it's very effective, and although for the most part it's not widely accepted, the whole GPT thing, it is really nice, and we're going to move over to this one right now. Hey there, comma, can you write me a story about a dog? And as you can see here, it's just going to start writing a story about a dog. So ChatGPT is one of those things that we highly recommend using for assistance. Don't use it to find out the answers of things for things you're trying to learn. So for example, if you say, hey, how much does an elephant weigh, because you don't know, cool. But if you said, hey, ChatGPT, do my entire book report, yeah, you get it done and you can play games quicker, but at the same point, you're not learning anything, you know what I mean? You're not going through the process. So a little bit of a PSA for all you guys that think you can use AI to solve your problems. I mean, you shouldn't, because it's just not really responsible. They also have AI Draw. So this does work for drawing as well. So I said coloring book, monochromatic, etc. You go to it, there you go. You got a coloring book, and then you can move it over to different applications like paint and then fill in the colors and whatnot, but this is the kind of thing that I would recommend using AI for, as long as you're not letting it kind of take creative control to the point where you can't flex your creative muscles anymore. But if you wanted something for your kids, like, hey, make me some connect the dots or coloring books, I mean, boom, it's free to use, you know what I mean? You're not infringing on anything else, and it saves it right to your device storage. So in terms of the AI elements, there is a ton that it really just gets done for you. So in that regard, it's a complete win. But this is a cell phone, and what does a cell phone do? It makes calls. You know what I like about Sony devices? They don't require a tool to get to the SIM card, and I think that's very interesting. So I'm going to hijack one of my SIM cards here. So we're going to use our Canadian Fido, which is the same as Rogers Wireless. Now what we're going to do is, actually, you know what? We got enough battery here, so enjoy this little vlog portion of the video as I stumble through this. It's also a good depiction on how this would actually work if you're doing it yourselves. So what we would do is put our SIM card, it's like it's like that then. Put our SIM card like that, and then we would slide that in like that, and it should work right away because modern phones don't really require you going in and changing the APIs and stuff like that, the username and, you know, all the ports and whatnot. So it looks like you received an SMS verification code. Okay, why would I need an SMS verification code? Well, I'm going to copy it just in case. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make a call, which is really the thing you should do when it comes to phones. So there you will see the phone call is coming in. It's long distance, so I'm not going to answer it, but it does make calls, and you'll see from the top drop down here, we do have our data communication and we have our reception right there. So it is roaming. Let me just point it out right there and we'll zoom in. We have the full bars, and on the flip side, we have full bars on this side as well. So yes, because it is a phone, you can make calls. And you know, this is... honestly, when the Palma came out by Onyx, everyone was like, wow, you know, an EINK phone that's not a phone. Well, you're right, it's not a phone because it wasn't. But Bigme has made phones, and the funny thing is, Hisense, although haven't officially said we are getting out of phones, has not really made a phone since the A9 and the A9 Pro, and that's a couple years ago. There really isn't any manufacturers that are making these styles of phones anymore. We're not counting the minimalist phone and the Mudita Compact, although those are e-paper screened devices that have cellular communication. We're not kidding ourselves. You know, it's not this. It's not Google Play. It's not speed modes. It's not browser. It's not, I'm just going to watch a Netflix today. They don't make these. And really, currently on the market with multiple selections and multiple variants, Bigme is the only company making smartphones to any realistic degree. Last thing we're going to check out is Scan Document. Scan Document is awesome. I love Scan Document. Actually, I don't need to move that. We're going to put this right here. We're going to scan a new document. So what you would do is just hover this over like this. Oh, you know what? I don't know how this is going to work with multiple languages, but you know what? I guess we're going to see, because this is going to be very confusing for the OCR, but it might actually recognize each individual language. It does. Look at that. I genuinely didn't know. I didn't know it would do that. Look, it even got the Arabic. I can't verify. I mean, if I go through each character, I guess it looks the same. My goodness, does it work on every language? That's crazy. I genuinely didn't know that. So when you do OCR via Scan Document, you would scan it and it would put it in line, and you can actually go into it and just start typing and alternate it, fix it, and change it all you want, and then you can go like this and then go confirm, and you can export it and all that. That worked really quick, honestly. That was all live and I didn't really have to cut. So for the guys watching this video who have to edit, you're welcome. So much like dedicated IR remotes like the Sony HUIS that has different brands and everything, and this is actually running an e-paper screen as well, they've just condensed this into an app. It's a little bit rudimentary and it doesn't look that great, but it does work. So for example, if you choose something like electric light, you would then go to your brand. So Iris Oyama, you go to Hitachi. People know the usual ones like Odelic, NEC, and then there's other brands, Sharp, etc. And what you would do is you would just click something like that, and you would point the infrared at the very top, and you would say brand communication start. There are other brands. You'll see there's 88 here. If it doesn't work, you will say no, go to the next group, next group, next group. And then eventually on maybe the 63rd or whatever try, it'd be like beep. And then there you go. You know that it'll be 26 out of 88. You say next step, and then you can change things like you want it to darken, you want it to brighten. You say save as remote. And then when you determine it, you'll have your other brand light, in which you'll have all of the controls that you would ever really need. You'd have settings, you'd have timing, and everything will be logged in. You can edit it from there, and you can go back and just keep adding more and more and more, because it's a locally stored IR remote. Effectively, with a big chunky screen, you can effectively just control anything you want. Your DIY equipment, your sound, your water heater, your electric light, your TV, your DVD player, basically anything that has IR, your fan, it will work on this. Finally, the last thing we want to look at is the custom key. So this was kind of started by Hisense way back in the day. Let's turn off the auto rotation there. There we go. This was started by Hisense back in the day. So you have custom keys on the back. This is effectively key mapping. So just as an example, we'll do single click will be back, double e-ink center, long will be flashlight, single click, left bottom key will be recording. Okay, we'll just keep this easy. We'll do a double click, open the e-ink center, and then we'll go back, and then we'll do a single click for the reading recording. So we'll do double click, that opens up the e-ink center. We're going to do a single click to go back, that removes it, and then we'll do a single click to open up recorder. There we go. So, oh my god, you've been listening. Look, I didn't even know what I was doing. Stop saying what I'm saying. Stop saying what I'm saying. I didn't know it was recording this whole time. Okay, well, your phone's always listening. That kind of proves it. But yeah, even if you whisper nowadays, phones are always listening, man. So yeah, honestly, this does have a lot of function with these side buttons, because I don't know the math on it, but if you choose 3 pages of 7 choices each, which is 21 times 3 different combinations of that or that, and 2 buttons and blah blah blah, it's millions of combinations of different things you can set. The problem is, if you change them too often, you're going to forget. You're going to say, wait a minute, was my double tap top home screen, or was my single long press at the bottom? So you'll get carried away. But for the most part, the custom keys are very useful in your day-to-day use of this unit. Is this unit good? Yes. Is this unit great? Yes, it is. Does it do as advertised? Absolutely. It has so much AI integrations. It has speed modes. It looks good. It feels good. Scanning documents is fast. It has every bell and whistle possible. It has an infrared sensor, for crying out loud. And yes, it can make phone calls. This is the best e-paper phone we've ever used. And we can attest to that because we've been reviewing them and have seen them all. Hisense, although hasn't officially left the e-ink smartphone game publicly, they just don't make them anymore. Bigme is the only viable choice in a world where we get a fully functional transition between a regular LCD LED smartphone and this. Thank you so much to Bigme for sending us this sample, and thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.